Hey Aries, how you doing? Thank you for welcoming us in to feel into your energetic lenses of perception of Aries. Oh, we like those colours. For us, this is the most aesthetically pleasing one so far for us. So Aries, what colours and patterns, like is it lines or curves and smells, brings you into your harmonic, pleasurable senses. And we've got the bird down here. It's almost like a hummingbird pulling out that thread. So it reminds us of a hummingbird, but normally hummingbirds are, we see hummingbirds, normally when we see pictures of hummingbirds, they're hovering. But this is a still bird and not hovering with a real fast momentum, but just still holding on to a thread. So that's keeping the tension. It's called yarn and twined, number 59, which on a contraction is number 4 again, which has been coming up heaps. And on an expansion, it's 14, which is second tier 5. So we're still on the 5 energies that we just left behind with Virgo and Pisces. So how does Virgo and Pisces connect up with your Aries energies if you were to triangulate that in your chart? How do they weave together? How do they entwine together? What patternology or aspects come up in your natal chart and in your current chart living now with the energetics, if you were to type it in where you're living, especially with this Cancer new moon and the nodal shifts coming up. I know we haven't done it yet, but I know that we want to print off a chart of our natal transit. We don't quite understand the progressions yet. Well, we don't. Some of us have looked into it, but we want to understand a bit more about the progression. But yeah, we want to look up because the ones of us that understand it, we're not connected to, but we sit there and just stare at it for ages, and loads of connections go on. And the conscious eyes that are functioning now get really frustrated because we want to know what's going on. So do you get a feeling where you want to know, you need to know, because we're sharing that. Have you got any practices where you can release or surrender your conscious mind's need to know, understand, and just step more into the abstract realms of sensory harmony? Frigg weaves golden threads of love into the destinies of all beings, so we may tangle our heartstrings with others. Occasionally, these divine yarns wrap and wind together. We lost it. We straightened the card up and lost it. But that's okay, because we were just talking about surrendering the conscious mind's need and to know and understand. So when you do practices of your practices, if you choose to, because it can go down to the 5 frequency on addition, if you choose to surrender the contraction, the Saturn of 9 minus 5 equals 4, of being structured and grounded, and you choose that you want to grow and expand, you add them together to get 14, which brings you alchemizing energies, or the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. Another familiar fire sign, or if you don't know if it's familiar or not, is Sagittarius energies familiar to you or not. Sagittarius is the collective of house 9. Your Aries, your house 1. And so when you do embrace these practices of surrendering the need to understand your conscious mind, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you're lost, swimming in a void? What can you do to keep yourself balanced and feel like you're just balancing, holding on to a thread? There may be something like in the dream inception, they have a little kind of tinkerty thing which they hold. We don't have anything here, but they hold that, and they can just hold that and then tell where they're at, whether they're in a waking life or whether they're in a dream or in a dream in a dream. So there may be that you want to, other people, they'll like kind of do these tests where they kind of go into astral realms and states, altered states of consciousness, and for instance might hold a little metal ball or some kind of sub ball, so that when they relax, the hand will drop the ball and the ball will fall on a metal plate rather than an apple plate. So if you do have a heavy ball and it's on a crockery plate or a china plate, it might smash. But that sound then will jar you up. You will still be in those initial states, brainwave things, but then you can access states of inspiration. So that yeah, so it's ways of, if you don't, ways to not kind of feel so lost and to keep yourself with a certain sense of alignment in the unseen energetic realms of sometimes perceived chaos and the curls and the waves and the non-linear sense of direction. Normally they have full stops in sometimes, but this one just seems to go and go. So Frigg weaves golden threads of love into the destinies of all beings, so we may tangle our heartstrings with others. There's a full stop. Occasionally these divine yarns wrap and wind together, two souls of mirrored frequency, predestined emotional ties reaching back to the birth of love and singing with heart-like perfection. There's another one now, we couldn't see them before. Let the sound of two hearts vibrate entwined as one and keep spinning a tender talismanic thread for another in eternal ecstasy. So there's your talisman, the thing we're saying to keep hold of, to keep you connected when you go into your altered states of consciousness. And the full stop before, we wanted to see where to start again because we got lost. But then we couldn't see the full stop, so we were going to go to the previous sentence. So you can't see the full stop, you can't see the punctuation. What happens when the punctuation isn't there? Speedy Gonzalez, there's no breath, there's no pause. Are you speeding through life a bit at the moment? Do you need to just stop and take a breather? Find yourself a talisman and stop and take a breather, Aries. And embrace enjoyment through whichever colours brings you harmony and just oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. There, lovely. Thank you, Aries energies. Thank you for letting us experience and perceive through your lenses of perception. So, starting with Aquarius up here. 24 Diag. And it's got like that egg timer symbol on its side. We were talking about the funneling out and we were talking about the center. So for us, rather than being like English or Western and reading left to right, or is it the Japanese that reads back, or Chinese that reads backwards from right to left, and the Japanese, or reads and writes, and the Japanese reads down. So rather than any of them, we just go from the center. So for us, numbers like 686, we would be from the center and be like, well, there's 86 and 86. Or you can be from the outside in, 68 and 68, but we start from the center rather than from the outside. We were talking about the center earlier, the galactic center in the galaxy, but also the center weaving the Celtic knot into the center of the body.